Hey, this is Matt once again. We're back to another video, and this is a paid request for RockaRolla. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, tier lists, rankings, video game playthroughs, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And sorry this took a bit, because it was a full season, but thank you, RockaRolla, for the request. I do appreciate it. And again, if anyone has any other requests, PayPal, Cash App, best ways to do it, links are down below in the info box. Feel free. But this is for Helluva Boss Season 2. Now, I did review Season 1, which I did like it. And this I liked as well, I will say. Before I get into the specifics of the episodes, it is about 12 episodes. Well, yeah, 11, 12 episodes. And I did like it. This one, they definitely went more into romance. A lot of romance in this one. And I still had fun. I still liked the animation. I still liked the voice acting. The design of the characters. There's still quite a few moments that made me laugh. There's some decent action bits, but not nearly enough standout ones like they were in the first season. I would still say I like the first season more because that one felt a little bit more of that chaotic energy, and also the premise of them going to Earth and they're to kill people, or which is this dichotomy of, they're there to do this work for revenge, sometimes against awful people, and like the mishaps and misunderstandings and all the kerfluffle that happens during that, and the fun and the gore and the action and the shooting and all that other stuff, like that chaotic energy you felt, I thought, more in season 1. This one, you could say that this is what the creator is trying to get, is where this is going in this direction, where it's definitely much more about the connections of these characters. It definitely felt more soap opera-ish in season 2, and I don't know how I feel about that. I'm kind of, from what I understand with this show, the creator, is it Viv? I don't. Sorry, butchered it. They want a 4 seasons. I don't know when the 3rd season is even out. Maybe if this ends in a great way and a satisfying way, that'd be okay. The soap opera I could deal with. If it ends in a shitty way, or what the fuck way, or that was fucking pointless way, then I'll think pretty fucking differently. So it's one of those, the way I feel, we'll wait and see on that. I know that may not make sense, but I've seen shows where they build up stuff and then it just screw the pooch. For example, X-Files. I love the X-Files. It's my favorite show. I was into the conspiracy stuff of the show. I prefer the Monster of the Week ones. But since that went fucking up, down, center, figure 8, 69, fucking up the hill, down the hill, trying to ice skate uphill like a sad motherfucker, it went nowhere but a goddamn circle down a fucking toilet drain. And it's like, when you go back and watch the conspiracy, who gives a fuck? I mean, I'll watch them because of the characters. I like the actors, the characters, the interactions, but this doesn't fucking matter because the goddamn thing didn't get ended on a satisfying way, and they shit the bed 10 times from Sunday on that fucking thing. God damn it. Still pisses me off. Chris Carter, you idiot. But anyway. but it, for the most part concentrates about the connections, the romance between. Why is it that I heard this name 100 times? I still cannot pronounce it right. Prince Stolas, the one that looks like an owl, and Blitz. The O is silent, so it's Blitzo, but his name is Blitz. Blitz being the psycho asshole leader of this group that do hits on Earth, and then the prince, again, this owl who is like a good father, and his wife was a bitch. And I remember the first episode, the pilot, they definitely retconned some shit. Because it seemed like the prince in the pilot was much more of a different character. Like, he was much more controlling, much more, oh, this is a guy you gotta worry about. And they completely flipped that. This one sounds stupid. Because it's like someone took the first season and then they wrote a season of fan fiction where they really wanted to ship some characters, in particular the Prince Stolas and the Blitz character, and says, I want these two to be in love. So have them go up and down and soap opera with the romance. So there's a lot of like shipping. Which the reason I know about that is, well, I'll admit this. There was a bit back in the day. This was years and years ago. Before I even was on YouTube. Well, yeah, it was before I was on YouTube. Well, I mean, it was like 2007. I would write Ninja Turtle stories, but then where I would read some. I just write them for myself. I never posted them, but I would read some, just like, get a feeling, and half of them was like girls that wrote, this turtle saved this girl, and then they fell in love, and then I will take care of you. I'm like, okay, I think all these chicks want to fuck some Ninja Turtles. That's what I'm reading with all these fucking stories. Like, half these stories are just shipping. Okay, idea, you want to fuck Raphael, you want to fuck Leonardo. Okay, yeah. So I don't, once I find out, I'm like, okay, move on to that story. But that's not even counting the stories you would read, like fanfiction.net. Because there's some good stories people write. There was a story, I know it's off tangent, but fuck, it'll be a long video. I think it was called Five, where it's like, okay, what if there was a fifth turtle named Picasso, and then Raphael was close with him, and then he was like deformed, and the way Raphael looked at Picasso was the way Mighty looked at Raphael. And Picasso was doing crimes, and they thought he was dead. Then he came back, and Mighty was worried that Raph would get hurt by Picasso. Like, the way he was done, I thought was interesting. Like, that's what I mean. Those stories is what I'm looking for. But then I'm like looking through these stories, and then, oh, here's where Raphael and Leonardo fuck. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, what the fuck is a turtle cest? All great. Raphael and Leo are fucking. Okay. Alright. Get that out of my mind, please. Anyway. That's one of the main reasons why I don't read fiction anymore. Because I'm just trying to find regular fucking stories. And, of course, with everything, I come down to sex, including two brothers having sex. I don't mean the brothers from Compton. I mean just fucking actual brothers. Anyway. But here it's like, okay, it's if I didn't know any better, it'd be like, hey, here's a fan fiction season where there's a lot of, you know, but this is how they wanted the story to tell. And maybe that's not fair to say. I mean, there's many shows where romance block, even Mulder and Scully, X Files eventually does that, etc. So maybe that's not fair to say that, but still. So they get into the episodes. Episode 1, they show flashbacks where Prince Stolas as a kid, his birthday. That again, they definitely made him more innocent than he was in the pilot episode. His father says, "You don't be engaged to this girl when you grow up." He's crying, and the dad's like, "That's an ugly noise, son. Will you stop that?" Which I thought was kind of funny. So they go to the circus, and he sees Blitz, which is a bit weird because they're kids. So it's technically one kid kind of falling with another kid. Thankfully, they don't do anything sexual because they're not, I don't know. They're not because, I don't know, she's not Dom Mancini. This ain't the Chucky TV show where little boys just start kissing each other even though they're kids and making out. So even this fucking show that has all this other shit in it, even knew, don't let two boys kiss each other when they're, 14, 15 years, But Dom Mancini tried to help himself. That Chucky TV show, I only got requested a few episodes. I guess maybe they knew it would. If they requested more, I'd lose my mind. Who knows? Maybe someone will request. Because I didn't watch the other seasons, and I didn't even finish season 1. I just stopped when they stopped requesting it, so I'm not watching anymore unless I get requests. But anyway, Don Mancini, he's a fucking weirdo. And I don't care that he's gay. I think he's a weirdo because I think he's a weirdo. But anyway. So the little Stolas sees Blitz. Blitz gets sold for $5 in a condom to be this kid's friend for a day or two. So Blitz is forced by his shitty dad go steal stuff, and you tell Blitz doesn't want to do it because he's much more innocent when he was a kid. So he steals a bunch of stuff, but still becomes kind of friendly, not in a sex way, but like just talking with Stolas. Right, he stole a bunch of shit, and they never show how the dad reacted to find all his shit stolen. But whatever. Then it cuts to 25 years later. Stolas is in a dead marriage. Sees Blitz is breaking into his place. And then, like, they do it where they change it from the pilot because the pilot seemed like the prince was more of the controlling, you don't do what I say. Here, now it's Blitz kind of pushing the prince, and the prince like, oh no, I don't know, like, I mean, I don't know, as if Blitz is like the aggressor. So, long story short, Blitz feels bad because he blindfolds him, tying him up to leave with this book that he needs. But then the owl keeps saying about how, oh, it's gonna be with my first, friend. He feels bad. I'll do it real quick. It's the next morning, so obviously it wasn't too quick. Blitz escaped. I remember the first episode. He said the phrase, "Sorry, I fucked your husband." And then the bitchy wife's like, "What was that sound? That was the sound of a fucking divorce." I will say what this did was make me like the Prince Stolas character. I like the owl design. I think another reason why I liked it, I don't know if this was done on purpose, but the voice, it sounds like Roddy McDowell. Peter Vincent, vampire killer from Fright Night. He was in The Legend of Hell House, class of 1984. Planet of the Apes, of course. I'm a big Roddy McDowall fan. And the voice has a Roddy McDowall cadence to it. I don't know if that was at all on purpose or I'm just interpreting that, but maybe that's why deep down I kind of like the character as well. It does remind me a little bit of Roddy. And I'm a big Roddy McDowall fan. And again, I think the owl is a cool design. And he finally is a decent guy. He cares for his daughter. He didn't want this marriage. He put up with this marriage so that his daughter could be somewhat sane for a while. His daughter doesn't appreciate that, so granted she doesn't know about that part, to be fair, but especially when you go through it, you just really feel sorry because a lot of shit happens is not his fault. And he gets the shit end of the stick by the end of the season, which is a shame, and I don't know if they're going to do something with that in season 3 or not. I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. But I didn't mind that. I liked seeing the flashback. Interesting idea that they kind of knew each other as kids. And this season they try to deal a bit with the inner bits of these characters. There's a part of me that misses just the fun, balls to the wall, gory nature of the first season. But I can appreciate trying to do a little bit more character work in there too. Episode 2, the prince promises his daughter Octavia that they're going to see this meteor shower. He forgets, so she emos up and goes without him. Meanwhile, Blitz has to take his adopted daughter Luna to the, I guess pretty much the vet. Well, no, that's not. No, that's not this one. I'm getting confused. That's another one. Screw that. That's another one. This is the one where Luna's attacking him because he's trying to say you need to do better at your job. And long story short, the prince is told by Blitz, oh yeah, your daughter took our book and went to Earth by herself. They go over there. The other two, Moxie and Millie, Moxie has to keep buying stuff to support artists and keeps pissing off his wife pretty much by doing so. People, for some reason, think Blitz is this TV star, even though he looks nothing like him. He gets on a sitcom and ends up pretty much shooting whoever. Luna finds the daughter. Everyone gets reunited. They see the fireworks. Decent episode. There was some fun bits between, the sitcom, how that goes awry. He goes crazy because something about it reminds him of his daughter. And he's like, you're not going to take my girl away. So he's just out of his fucking mind. The humor, like the voice actors do a really good job. The guy who plays Blitz, he's very good with his inflections. Like at the beginning, when he's being attacked, he's like, wait, just a shit. Like the timing, he could do fairly well with that. And he does curse a lot, and sometimes the cursing does seem very repetitive. But what could kind of work with him is the way he times certain sentences and phrases. I think he does a good job with that. So the episode 2, I didn't mind it for what it was. I thought it was a decent. Not my favorite of the season, but decent. The whole bit where Moxie is supporting artists, I was kind of indifferent. I'm like, is that really the best thing you have them doing while they're out here? I guess. I mean, we gotta write something for them. Just wasn't that exciting of a subplot compared with the other stuff. But the sitcom going wrong stuff was kind of funny. Just how it went from 0 to 100 pretty quickly. Episode 3, we learn a lot more about Moxie. His dad is a crime mafioso guy named Crimson. Blitz, him, and Millie are invited. Moxie doesn't know that he did the inviting at first. He doesn't know they're going to his dad at first until it's too late. But we learn a bit about Moxie's backstory, which is pretty sad because I guess it's his stepmom or someone he knew that knew his dad and cared for him. We never see her face. I wonder if that's going to be something in the future. I don't know why. But we never see her face. And pretty much we see this montage where she's doing nice things for him, but the dad's doing awful things, so she's like caring for him. And eventually she like slapped the dad and walked off. Then later they're on a boat and there's a person with a bag and the dad forces the son to give her the cement shoes. He doesn't want to. And then when it goes over, you see the shoe is the same shoe that lady would wear. So maybe the idea of not showing her face was just to give a bit more mystery of, I don't know, just artistic bit. This sounds stupid, but for some reason I wonder if we'll somehow see her again where, I don't know, she somehow got out of it. Because you see her shoe, I don't remember seeing her body float. I did, I just, like for some reason, like I just see an episode where we see this individual, we see their face, but we don't know who it is. And maybe it's been so long, because again, that was when he was a kid, he wouldn't recognize her either, and then we find out, oh, it's her, and she didn't really die, and either she wants revenge on Moxie and the dad, or revenge, I don't know, just, if nothing happens with that, fine, but something in my brain's thinking something about that, I don't know, maybe I'm just going crazy. And then there's this shark named Chaz, who's an ex to both Billy and Moxie. Definitely an un-PC show because the dad's like, you're gay, right? No, I'm bi. Okay, like I said, you're gay. So, I want to make a gay party. So he has all these, like, dicks, dildos pop out of the seats. And he's like, no one would want this. Not even a gay guy would want this. Who would want this? And then you see Blitz laughing outside. Oh my god, there's all these dicks on the wall. Long story short, the dad is forcing his son to marry Chaz, even though he's already married, because he thinks the shark Chaz has all this money, which he doesn't, you find out. Millie, his actual wife, kills everybody. In one of the better action scenes in the season, because she just annihilates everybody, ripping skulls out and shit. She puts, like, one in like a shark jaws and then does an elbow drop onto it and crushes the other person's head. Blitz, he's kind of there, and he also has sex with the shark because he wants to, because he's that kind of guy. Also, so at the end, he's like, well, now we all fucked him. Which makes, one mad and the other blush. Blitz is just, he's a very flawed character, he's a dickish character, but he's a pretty funny character, so it's definitely interesting. And humanize him later in the season. Some people may not like that because when you get in that territory of humanizing them, then when you eventually try to bring them back to what got him popular in the first place, then you go, well, wait a minute. Why is he acting like this if he's being humanized here? And this seems like a show that's trying to keep a bit of continuity. So when they get into season 3, you're making it very hard for yourself. Like, if you start humanizing a character this way by the end of the season, that seems like something you would do by the end of the whole show. But if this is only halfway through, it's like, well, in the other 2 seasons, okay, then why is he acting like a dick here and a dick here and saying all these wacky, crazy things like he would say? Because they're eventually going to go back to that route. But then, like I said, you have to really be careful. That's a tightrope you're walking on, and who knows if you're going to balance it right or not. But I thought that was a fun episode. It was nice seeing a little bit more into Boxy's backstory. Fun action scene with Millie just killing the whole damn wedding party of assholes and bozos. Definitely some funny moments in there. All that I don't want to give all of them away. But that was a fun episode. Number 4, Cowboy Snake Striker returns, which, what was his name? How could I forget his fucking name? Daryl from The Walking Dead. How the fuck do I not remember his name? Yeah, I know his character. What's the actor's name? Norman Reedus. I think Norman Reedus did, didn't he do? Yeah, he did. So he voiced him one time, and then they obviously couldn't get him back for this. I forget who the other actor is. This is the one I was talking about where Luna needs to go to the vet and Blitz has to do that. While that's happening, the Prince Stolas, the owl prince guy, he gets kidnapped. The snake cowboy that we saw in first season, he's been hired to kill the prince by the ex-wife of the prince. So pretty much Billy and Moxie, they're going to try to stop it while Blitz takes Luna to the vet. The stuff at the vet was kind of funny, I thought. The way Blitz is trying to talk to the doctors and how more and more angry he gets. And he's like, she needs to fucking shot you, retard. I can't say that anymore. So I thought that was kind of funny. When they're waiting at like reception, there's like a little kid and the mom saying some stupid things. And he's like, well, I kill people for a living. How about a 2-for-1 special? Okay, you whore? How does that sound? And then he's ready to shoot both of them. One bullet with both, but then the doctor calls him in. Or a vet, however you want to put it. So like that stuff was funny. The other stuff was just the snake just kind of tying up, beating up, stabbing the prince, which made me feel bad because he didn't deserve it. And he's trying, the prince is trying to say some things, but then you realize, when the guy turns away, he tears up. So there's, you feel bad for him, or at least I do. Millie and Moxie get there, you have a decent fight, but pretty much the state guy gets away. So they get Stolas to the hospital. Blitz comes back with Luna. What I did like is this is one of, I wouldn't say it's the first time they humanize him. In the first season, there was the episode where him and Moxie were tied up by the agents of the government and given these injections, which tells a little bit about their hindrances and fears. But this one, the tone of voice change, where they tell Blitz that Stahl has been hurt, and then boom, like his tone of voice changes. Like, wait a minute, he didn't get hurt. Like as serious and low key of a voice as that character ever had. I thought that was a nice touch to really show that change. And I guess maybe you just say that's the first instance of him kind of maybe looking at this guy a different way. I'm trying to look here. Episode 5, probably one of my least favorite episodes of the season. Blitz is looking for his sister, and there's some funny bits with him. Someone asks how many times go to sodomize you with a taser. Enough to dip me off. Or talking to the nurse, how about you take that advice and shove it right between your pussy lips? And he falls off the fucking window as he's saying that. Because I guess his sister got out of rehab or something. Now he's looking for her. Because he's busy with that, he can't do this mission. So he gives it to Millie and Moxie. Moxie is happy to lead a mission finally. So he pretends to be a girl and has his wife pretend to be a guy. And then she as a guy becomes popular. Can spike volleyballs. Very, very popular. Sing. And people love her. And he gets jealous of that. And that's what it is for most of it. Him being jealous of his wife for being popular at this, camp. And then you find out that one of the reasons they were there is this guy who has heroin, and he's working with, you find out, Blitz's sister. Now, Blitz's sister mentions how, oh, you ruined my life, leave me alone, and then she gets away. But you don't really learn a whole lot about the sister. You don't really learn a whole lot about how Blitz ruined her life, or I missed it. And that could be my fault. There's a fight between, Blitz, Moxie, and the Blitz's sister. I did think it was funny how Millie's doing this concert. And this rocket goes off, it goes through the building these other characters are in, and goes through the heroine's head, and pops like a balloon. Some of that was kind of, a funny, gory moment. That was a bit of humor I would see in, the first season. But it's just because with the sister angel, it didn't go anywhere. I didn't really learn a whole lot about her. I'm not saying have it all solved in one episode, but I didn't really learn anything. It didn't really add anything. And I don't know. That episode did nothing for me. I mean, there's some funny stuff at the beginning, some of Blitz's lines. That's pretty much it. Episode 6, we're introduced to... Well, I don't know if he was in season 1. He might have been, but Fizzy, which is... used to be best friends with Blitz, but something happened back in the day. Now he's a successful clown. And you kind of see what idea what the creator's doing, where you see this imp who's like Blitz, only he's successful as a clown, and he's with a loved one who is this elder that, oh, you're not supposed to be with them, but they are, and they're happy. And that if Blitz could able to get his head out of his ass, maybe he could have his own, aka the Prince. Idea what that's what the creator here is doing. So pretty much Fizzy and Blitz, they have this antagonism because of what happened back in the day. And Fizz goes, well, my horn was always bigger than yours. And they fight. But they get caught, ransom, really ransoming the clown one Fizzy, however you want to pronounce his name. And his Prince lover is pissed about that. Blitz is able to get him out. Where there's some fun action, Blitz is able to cause this chaos where they're all killing each other and he's eating popcorn watching it all happen. And you get a bit of character, emotional beats where there was a fire back in the day, which was an accident, and he's mentioning it was an accident, and he was trying to look for help, and he was scared, and he feels guilt. And then at one point later on, of course, there's a fire, but Blitz doesn't leave. He comes back, saves him, helps him out, and they kind of regain their friendship after that. So, I mean, I can appreciate trying to make the character a bit more filled with depth. I can appreciate that. But you definitely going to have a segment of the audience that goes, not that they're against it, but then they still want to have what made the first season work for them and got them into the show in the first place. Again, it's always going to be this tough balancing act that I wish them luck on. And then episode 7, we have more of this Fitz character where we see Fitz and Blitz as kids. And especially Fitz likes this clown Prince of Greed character named Mammon. And it cuts to modern time where Fitz is like this clown that's like a mascot and a popular star for this guy. His Prince boyfriend, I think his name is Oz, doesn't like how he's being treated by this guy. He's being used by this guy. There's this upcoming pageant, and Fitz always makes himself much more stress-filled. Oz doesn't like that. I think he even says, "We'll beat that guy, eat my ass," and in a bad way too. The way the guy said that line was kind of funny. Long story short, he tastes the verbal abuse of this guy over and over again until finally there's also this asshole fan who Blitz finally shoots in the head, which the motherfucker deserved, so I'm like, good. A lot of romance stuff in this. And then finally, Fizz has had it and realizes what he has. So he does his big musical number, pretty much telling his boss to kiss his ass. Hope you die, kiss my ass, goodbye. Which was kind of funny. Like, that musical bit reminded me of South Park in a good way. And again, that's a compliment, is that musical number. I'm like, this is something like South Park would do, which I'm okay with, because South Park can have some pretty fun musicals as well. I would just look at the South Park movie. Cow's mom's a bitch, a stupid bitch in a whole wide world. You know, that whole song. That's what it reminded me of a bit. So, that was kind of funny. It's funny how this Fitz character in 2 episodes has had more development than, say, Luna in almost 2 seasons. I mean, I know that she's a weird dog thing and was adopted by Blitz. It's pretty much all I know about her. And it's funny that these two episodes, I've learned more about Fitz, this clown imp, than I did Terra Luna. The last four episodes is when it really gets into the soap opera romance bit, and that's why I hesitated to know how to get into this. Because, like, episode 8, I do like that they reference characters from season 1, like the three figures from heaven that, because their actions, they were cast out, and then the agents from the government, which featured the best action scene in both seasons so far, which was a crazy long action scene, like holy shit. They're working together. The government gives these three, like, these kind of Iron Man type of mechs to go after them. Blitz, Moxie, Millie, all that. Meanwhile, Stolas and Blitz, they have two different thought processes. Stolas wants to say how he truly feels. He doesn't want it to be an obligation. If you want to come by because you want to, but I don't want you as someone who, like, here's his gift. You can go back and forth to Earth whenever you want to. Pretty much freeing him, saying there is no obligation. You don't have to come here if you don't want to. You don't need to use this book anymore. Just look, that's your business. You go back and forth on Earth. It seems like, did you want me or did you want the book? Like, that's kind of what he's saying, but not really. And then Blitz just does the dumbest fucking thing. And as Stolas says, well, I think so highly of you, but I didn't think you felt so low of me. Because Blitz is a fucking idiot. He fucked up. He screwed up. Made him feel like shit. Said the wrong, worst fucking thing ever. Meanwhile, Luna, Millie, and Moxie take care of the three. Heaven, what was it, a sheep? One was like a cherub, but I forget what the other creature was. And then episode 9, a lot of guilt and sorrow and sadness. So Blitz tries to apologize to people, but he doesn't really mean it. Just as he puts it, really the only one he wants to apologize is to Stolas. He gets to a party where it's a party of people who all hate Blitz. And this is where it's really starting to humanize Blitz. His imperfections, his anxiety, his there's no way you can like someone like me, that type of thing. And pretty much Stolas, he's like, listen, I can't keep doing this, what the fuck you doing? Someone offers to dance with them, and they kiss, and I just Blitz, you don't know what you got till it's gone. I don't know why I was waiting for that music to fucking pop up. You know what? I'm actually gonna listen to that song after this. You don't know what you got till it's gone, gone, gone. Because he sees the prince kiss someone, and then you see the look on his face where it's like, yeah, you fucked up, dude. But again, that's going to be the make or break it for some people on this. Do you want to see you go in that direction? Is it too soap opera-ish? Is it too... I don't know. Because in episode 10, it's Blitz and Millie going to this haunted house to look, to do a mission. but it's more about Blitz being depressed and saying, he never helped anybody. And then we do get a bit of Millie, more backstory from her about how she first met Blitz. So that was cool to see. That was interesting to see. At one point, the spirit possesses Blitz and messes with his psyche a bit. And then I said 12 episodes. There might have been only 11 episodes. I don't know why I thought it was 12. Or was it 11? I can't remember now. Because then it's... This don't sound stupid, but... I don't know how I feel about these last couple episodes where... It's... How do I put it? Things happen where the prince was not supposed to give this book. It gets found out, and Blitz gets in deep shit, and in fact he may be killed, but the Prince Stolas takes the full blame, all the blame, so Blitz is freed, but Stolas, he has his powers taken away. Then his daughter says, I care for you, but I hate how you pit him over us. I heard something in the dialogue said he can't see his daughter for 100 years. He has no more home. And now he's kind of living with Blitz and Luna. And while, you see Blitz humanized a lot more, talking to Stolas a lot more, kind of under, tone, talking like this and hugging. I don't know if I buy the prince liking him right now. And it seems like he may not like Blitz. So I don't know if it's going to be this thing in season 3 where now Blitz is fully in love with Stolas, and Stolas is the one who doesn't want anything to do with him. And is that what they're going to do for a full season? I don't know. That's why I'm unsure. It depends where this is all leading to. And again, this apartment, it does mix that crazy, quirky, wild, going, blood, guns, craziness, insanity. I can appreciate, trying to delve deeper into characters. But where's it going? Obviously, I'm assuming we're going to learn more about what happened to Blitz's mom and sister. I guess I think the idea is that during that fire at the circus, the mom died, and the sister blames him for that. I guess, maybe. I don't know if that means, but I mean, I'm thinking of soap opera now. The mom will turn off a lot. I don't know. The mom will turn up being alive, or maybe the mom will turn up be alive and be a villain, and then he has no one to depend on. But I don't know. It depends. It depends where it's going. It does. Well, I say this was the end of the show, I would feel meh. Because I said the prince, I don't buy him being in love with Blitz anymore. I don't feel it. I don't feel he cares for Blitz right now. Which I don't blame him, because it's like, he can't see his daughter for 100 years. He has no power anymore. He has no home anymore. There's this guy who treated him like shit for a good chunk of it, and the prince didn't deserve it. Before that, he was in a loveless marriage because his wife was a bitch. I feel sorry for this owl guy. He just got every fucking brick shoved up his feathery ass. And then it's like Blitz, he's got like everything right now, it seems, because his business is booming. He could go back and forth with that thing he was given. The imps think, "Oh, you're a hero to us. That guy, the higher ups tried to fuck you over." So now, like, people like praise him. I don't know if that's what they're going. I don't know. Well, we'll see what they do. I mean, I don't even know. Does he even? I mean, that's the thing also that because it's. I think not many people involved. It takes a long time for this show to even pop up. Because in March 2023, a Thursday was confirmed to be in production. But, I mean, okay, March 2023? So that's at least 2.5 years ago? Okay, let me look on here. Okay, 2025, they will not be releasing season 3, but are in production to release episodes and consistency. That way we don't get that 3 to 4 month gap between episodes. Well, okay, that I can understand. I can understand that. Again, that I can understand. So, I would say overall I liked it. Like I said, I miss well, that chaos from the first. I'm not sure about the more melodrama, soap opera, romance stuff of the second season. I guess this is really what they were wanting to do, this Viv lady. We'll see how it ends up. I mean, if it ends up shit, then that'll be your answer. Yes, I don't know. Did I like it? Yes. Am I interested? Yes. I do think the animation is really good. I think the voice acting is pretty solid, especially from the people who voice Blitz and Stolas. I'd be curious to see where they go next. Again, I just don't know, like, if Blitz is they're trying to humanize him. It'd be weird to go back to where he was, which I'm sure they will, because that's the charm, is the crazy shit he'll say. But then, how do you push that and go, okay, this guy is too much, even for people who like the character, and with all the shit that this other Prince guy has gone, like, this Prince guy has gone through the ringer, and he hasn't deserved it. Unless this Blitz guy treats him to the highest order, it's like, I don't buy it. And again, it seems like at this point the Prince is, because they hug at the end, but Blitz is happy, but the Prince is like, which again, I can't blame him. Like, he can't see his daughter for 100 years because of this shit. He has no more power because of this shit. Because he lent this fucking guy the book. This guy who, like, said all this shit to him. And then it's like, is this really worth it? I can't blame him. Damn it, I mean, the Prince is the highlight for me. I'll say that. I actually think, I mean, they won't do this, but I think it would be interesting if the Prince becomes more like Blitz and the Blitz becomes more like the Prince. before changing it for the last season and going back to how it is, but I don't know, a healthier way. I don't know how to put it. Like the Prince starts acting like Blitz, and then Blitz tries to help him because, no, I don't want you to become like me, because nobody should become like me. And truly showcases his feelings without any censorship, without any holding back, and then that's what snaps the Prince out of it. And I don't know. I guess we'll see. See, I just realized with this whole 55 minutes that this is a gay relationship. Never once said anything about them being gay. You want to know why? Because with all this other stuff that they try to force these agendas into you and down your throat, all I really am interested in is the characters, or the way they interpret the dialogue, or the visual style, or all that. When you rely on just your message, then that's all people will judge it for, and then it becomes just pretentious and eye rolling and who gives a fuck, type of quality. So go figure. Go figure. So overall, I did like it. Not as much as the second season, but I did like it. Maybe if it ends up, grade A, maybe I will look back on this season and go, yeah, I liked it more this time. I don't know. Depends where they go with some of this stuff. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks once again to RockaRolla for the request, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.